Hello everyone, this is Marie Blue Angel and I am back with the demo for the Willowmist Emporium of Antiques and Curiosities. We left off last time on Friday night, right at the end. We're about to go into Saturday, I believe. And I did check last time that there would be at least a Saturday to go to, otherwise the other video would have been the end of the demo and me playing it. But fortunately, we have at least Saturday. Maybe we'll have Sunday, is my guess. Maybe it's a full week, a full week's worth of story. So that's very exciting. So without further ado, let's just get into it and see what else happened. We just learned a new spell from Barnabas. And that spell has allowed us to search the attic. When searching the attic, we are able to have a higher chance of finding items, which is exciting. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, Saturday, there's a bit of wind in the air. Love that. Love the variety. You had hoped to awaken to the gentle chirping of birds or the sound of a gentle breeze rustling leaves in the world outside your window. Instead, you woke to the sound of a very grumpy, pompous book, opening then shutting his cover. Repeatedly, as loudly as possible. What a wake-up call, Barnabas.
Good morning, Master. Oh, I apologize. Did I wake you?
It's probably about time for me to get up anyway.
Good. It would be a tragedy to waste your morning on slumber. Up, up. Let's get a move on.
With a grumble, you pushed the covers aside and swung your legs out of your bed. You made your way over to your dresser, picked up a change of clothes, and turned back to look at Barnabas, who was sitting on your desk across the room. Do you mind? I'm changing.
It's not as if I have eyes, Master. I see the world differently from a base creature like you. Cool, but I'd rather you didn't see me getting changed in any way. If it pleases you, Master, I will turn around. Does that satisfy?
You quickly changed, then grabbed a piece of fruit, noting that your food stock really was near empty now. We should really go to the store. The supermarket. I'll have to find a grocery store later. Now, as much as I enjoy your presence, Barney, I've got work to do. Did you want to come with, or...?
No, thank you. The thought of being paraded around in front of the general populace, subject to the gazes of those who cannot appreciate my glory, fills me with despair. I will stay right here, thank you.
I'll turn on the TV for you, just in case you get bored.
Your consideration is touching, Master, truly.
All right, see ya. Okay, bye, Barney. With that, you made your way down the stairs and stepped into the store proper. You were halfway down the stairs when you heard voices talking back and forth. That was beginning to feel like a normal thing around the store, but you didn't recognize one of the two voices. It's Lucille and a new person that we haven't seen in-game before. Though I vaguely remember this person because I just saw some social media posting about this character, but I didn't obviously really look into who this person is, so it's fine. Lucille! Okay, we're gonna learn soon enough what's happening. Let's see. I'm afraid that is not possible. Blue requires their due rest, and besides, it is my duty to protect them. Oh, Lucille, come on. It's not that big of a deal. I just want to see her with a little bedhead. Who are you? I will not budge on this matter. Sleep is more important than your senseless whims. Is there a party I didn't get invited to going on? This seems to happen a lot. You'll make a person feel left out if you're not careful. You winked towards Lucille, who instantly straightened up, then turned your eyes towards the other person. Your eyes met another's, a man with red hair you didn't recognize. He smiled up at you lopsidedly before brushing a lock of hair behind his ear. Well, if it isn't the most mesmerizing face I've seen all week, you must be the infamous new owner of the store. You can call me Handsome, or Eden will do. Okay. Hello, Handsome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Blue, right? I've heard a lot about you, but it looks like the rumors were selling you short. Wink, wink. Rumors? Well, color me curious. Eden took a few steps up the staircase, his gloved hand trailing over the railing as he approached you. When he got close enough, he leaned in towards you and whispered. He wasn't quite touching you, but was close enough that it felt like an intimate gesture. Funny story. I'd heard that the new owner already had a fan club because of their overwhelming beauty and charisma. For what I've seen, I'd have to agree. Eden pulled back and smiled. Well, the rumors say a lot more than that, but, let's leave some of the secrets a mystery for now, shall we? Wink. You have to be a little mysterious to be interesting, after all. At that, Eden turned around and walked back down the stairs, the sound of wood creaking with every step. If there is something you need, Sir Eden, I suggest you speak now. Why rush our first meeting? We'll be telling everyone about it at our wedding. Gosh. He winked up at you, then turned his attention to Lucille. Really, you don't have to be so defensive. I don't bite. Unless you ask me nicely. I have no interest in anything of the sort from you. If you have no business here, please take your leave. We are running an establishment here. Go on, Lucille. Lucille moved her hand towards the hilt of her sword, but didn't draw it. Eden raised his hands and backed up a step. All right. I'm going to note that down for next time. Lucille isn't a fan of jokes. My deepest apologies, my lady knight. Eden gave a half bow to Lucille while she just shifted to stand a little straighter. I just wanted to introduce myself to our lovely new shopkeep. Believe it or not, I'm actually Willowmist's most famous carpenter. Oh. I believe you are Willowmist's only carpenter. Ouch. That may be true, but still, the point stands. A carpenter? He looks more like a model. Internal dialogue. I was expecting someone who looks more like Quinn. I happen to be acquainted with your aunt. We work together on occasion, so I'd like to extend the same offer to you. Oh, do you do, like what? Like for the shop or like items? If I remember correctly, Sir Eden, Lady Sylvie would also refer to you as a flirt and a liar. What can I say? There's so much beauty in the world. Should I not celebrate it? Lady Sylvie would say that you are incapable of taking anything seriously. That I can accept. You're such an honest person, Lucille. It almost makes me jealous. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'd love the chance to get to know you properly, Blue. How about dinner and drinks on me tomorrow night? Tomorrow night? Well, maybe I'll be able to shift around my incredibly full schedule, if you ask nicely. Oh, is that how it's going to be? Well then, pretty please, may I treat you to a night of fine dining and wine? That was actually pretty good. I'm impressed. I'm an actor at heart. Then I shall accompany you as bodyguard. I don't think that's... Actually, you know what? Why don't we just invite everyone? It could be like a housewarming party. Oh, and here I thought I'd managed to snag a date. What a shame. Tongue out, I swear. Like Blue. Still, that sounds like fun. I'll leave it to you to invite whoever you'd like. You seem like you have good taste. The bell by the door chimed as the door to the store opened, and the familiar face of Emmett poked his head through. Hi, Emmett. Good morning. I'm here for... He paused as he locked eyes with Emmett. His eyes locked with Eden's. I don't know why I said Emmett. Okay. I mean, I think I know why. He then turned and walked straight back out the door. Damn, that bad? Emmett? How cute. He's being all shy. I'll go get him. Don't you worry your pretty little head. Wink, wink. Eden strode past you, then exited the store. A few moments later, they both came back in, with Eden's arm around Emmett's shoulder. Where are you off to so quickly, my friend? Don't tell me you're trying to avoid me. I prefer it, yes. Everyone's so honest this morning. How refreshing. So, what brings you here today, Emmett? My job, which you're currently preventing me from doing. There's always more time for work later. There's not always friends later, though. That would be true, yes, but you're all acquaintances at most. Hey, you're meant to think stuff like that, not say it to our faces. You're such a stick in the mud. Cute smile. And you're a thorn in my side. Unhand me. You'll run away. I might just have to hold on to you tighter. I might... Yes. And please don't. You two are friends, then. We absolutely are. We absolutely are not. It's more like I happen to bump into him no matter where I go, and he takes it upon himself to bother me nonstop. You're too stubborn for your own good. One day I'll get you to agree we're best friends. Hell will freeze over before that day comes. So cold. And I thought we had such a beautiful relationship. You're breaking my heart over here, Emmett. Emmett, the famous heartbreaker. I like the sound of that. Don't encourage him. He'll never stop. Please, encourage me more. I'm like a puppy. I thrive on attention. Yes, exactly. Just like a puppy. Desperately in need of discipline. Well, since you're here, Emmett, I was going to ask if you'd like to come out for dinner with us tomorrow night. No, thank you. Scared that Eden will bite? He's going. Yeah, so far it's me, Eden, and Lucille. I'd like to ask Florian and Winnie, too. I'd really like you to come if that makes a difference. Fine. I will make a spot in my otherwise packed schedule. I hope you appreciate the effort. What a gentleman, Emmett. How very unlike you to change your mind. Maybe you have a soft spot for blue, eh? Wink. I have nothing of the sort. I'm merely agreeing so that someone responsible can be on hand to keep things under control. Emmett shrugged out of Eden's grasp, and then brushed himself off. Now, if that is all, I need to speak with Blue. In private. Well, when you put it like that, I can't help but wonder about your relationship. Do tell me what happens. Nothing is going to happen. It is a simple discussion and nothing more. Is that a blush I see on your cheeks? Maybe you're the one who needs glasses here. Stop making things up. Allow me to escort you out, Sir Eden, so that Sir Emmett and Blue may talk in peace for the moment. What a noble way of throwing me out. Well, it was nice meeting you, Blue. I hope to see you around town, Definitely. It's been a pleasure. I'll let you know more about my services later, but drinks first. I'm a very hands-on worker. I like to get to know my business partners before we work together. Yeah, sounds great. See you tomorrow, Eden. Lucille put a hand on Eden's back and saw him to the door, where he finally exited the store, the bell tinkling as he did. Pardon the intrusion. As I said, we need to talk. Sure, what's up? Did you miss me so bad you had to come see me first thing? Don't be absurd. Did you give my business card to anyone? No, of course not. Why would I? I'm keeping your number all to myself, thank you. Damn it. If you're not responsible, then that's even more concerning. How did they find me and get a hold of my number? Who? Who? What's going on? It's my previous employer. What would they want? Wait, did you do accounting for a criminal organization or something? I worry about the fantasies that are going on in that head of yours. Forget it. I'll deal with it myself. You're kind of making me worry here. You're a client. There's no need to worry about me. Nuh-uh. We're close acquaintances now. So hard to say acquaintances. Nuh-uh. We're close acquaintances now. I think that means I'm legally allowed to worry about you. I'm no solicitor, but I'm certain that's not how this works. So you're trying to argue that me worrying about you is illegal? What? No, stop talking such nonsense. I can't believe you'd call me nonsensical, Mr. Accountant, for a crime syndicate. That's not blush. Forget it. You're impossible. Emmett pinched the bridge of his nose and closed his eyes, almost like he was in pain. It's nothing like that. Nothing illegal at the very least. Let's just say I terminated my contract early, and they aren't happy about it. Well, they can't force you to go back, can they? I'd like to say no, but they're so obsessed with their rules and regulations that they might have some obscure way to try and make me work for them again. And that would be a bad thing, right? I left for a reason. What a terrible start to an otherwise good morning. Hey, at least you got to see me. As I said, thank you for your concern, Blue. It's not necessary, but well, thank you anyway.
What you guys whispering about? Is it secrets? Oh, I love secrets. Come on, tell me. I won't tell anyone, I swear.
Oh, Winnie, good morning. Have you and Emmett met before?
Does watching him from the corner of the room count?
I don't think so.
Then nope. My name is Winnie. Nice to meet ya. So, what's happening?
None of your business, Miss Winona.
Just Winnie is fine.
Fine. Miss Just Winnie.
No, I mean, I'm just Winnie.
As I said, Miss Just Winnie.
Fine, I'll be Miss Just Winnie, but you have to be Mr. Tall and Serious.
Mr. Finch will suffice.
Mr. always looks like he's got a stick up his butt.
I feel like that one might be a little bit too long. Thank you for noticing. It takes a lot of effort to maintain.
I like you. You're funny.
Funny isn't the word I'd use, but if you'd prefer it, then be my guest. Now, if that's all, I have other things to attend to. Hey, Emmett. Yes. This all could have been a text, you know? And? I'm just saying, I feel like you stopped by just to see me. You would be incorrect, as I gave you my number, but you never gave me yours. Good day, Miss Marigold. Miss Just Winnie. That's cute. See a little bit more humor from Emmett. And now Winnie and Emmett have also met officially, which is fun. I'm assuming the dinner tomorrow will be the end of the demo, which is very exciting. Yeah, we're gonna keep going here. But yeah, I am curious what we'll get up to this Saturday. I'm still worried about paying my $150 bill, and I only have $139, so I'm really hoping that's a good selling day at the store, you know? Anyways, that Emmett turned on his heel and walked out the door, the bell jingling as he did. When he turned and waved her hand, watching as he left.
So, what was that about? A romantic tryst? A secret rendezvous? The beginnings of forbidden love?
Do you read a lot of romance novels or something, Winnie?
Well, it does get boring around here sometimes.
It wasn't anything like that. Emmett just doesn't realize it yet. I'd rather have a romantic tryst with you. I'm gonna go with Emmett only because I feel like the last episode I clicked at least on 2, if not 3, of Winnie's like heart options. I'm just gonna go for Emmett because I think this would make it even. Actually, no, it might be one of the first. It might be one of the first choices. I can't remember. Or maybe we did flirt with Emmett yesterday. I can't really remember. But anyways, I feel like Emmett's a little imbalanced in that regard of the choices. So Emmett just doesn't realize it yet. Maybe it was a secret rendezvous, but Emmett doesn't realize it yet.
I knew it! Ooh, Emmett and Blue, sitting in a tree. When's the wedding?
I could text him now and spring it on him.
Do it.
He might kill me. Or worse, block my number on the spot. Anyway, no, it really wasn't anything like that. Just boring work stuff.
Oh, by the way, Winnie,
I wanted to ask you something. Would you like to go to dinner with me tomorrow night?
Dinner? With you? Oh, are you inviting me on a date?
Sure. A date with me, Emmett, Lucille, Eden, and hopefully Florian. We're all going to be one big, happy family.
Okay, so this is not a one-on-one thing, Boo.
Did you want it to be one-on-one?
Well, of course. I want to get to know you better.
Well, a bigger group doesn't have to stop that, does it? Plus, we can always hang out here. I want to get to know you better too, Winnie.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Winnie shifted and fiddled with her hands.
Can I think about it and let you know later?
Oh, sure. It's not until tomorrow anyway, so there's no rush. If you don't want to, you don't have to either.
Oh, no, I super want to. I'll let you know.
All right. I better get ready to open up anyway.
Okie dokie. See you later, alligator.
Bye, Winnie. Winnie gave a small wave, then floated up and through the ceiling. Man, I don't think I'll ever get used to that. Okay. We go see, we have up here, it's windy. To do learn about woodworking, which I guess Eden can help us with, but we have $150 worth of things. I gotta pay my bills. Pay my bills. I just need one more item. The store was quiet. When you knelt behind the counter, or knelt down behind the counter, sorting out the various papers and knickknacks stored underneath, and boy, there was a lot of papers and knickknacks. Your aunt was nearly on the level of a hoarder. She had receipts stored away from 2 decades ago, stored away from 2 decades ago, brochures for long-closed restaurants, and enough loose screws to build a small airplane. How can you even amass this much stuff? I mean, if you're in the same place for a while, and I don't know how long our aunts had the shop, I would assume that's a pretty accurate thing to see, I would think. You pulled out a stack of magazines, again some decades old, and began to categorize and sort them before your eye caught on a small, unlabeled white envelope between the pages. You removed it carefully, noting how pristine it looked. It certainly wasn't as old as all the other junk she kept behind the register. Flipping it over, you noticed it was also unsealed. Huh. If it's not addressed to anyone, I guess it's fair game. Curiosity got the better of you, and you sat down on the stool and opened the envelope, pulling out a crisp sheet of paper from within. The handwriting was instantly familiar. Neat sweeping strokes, each word pressed with the kind of confidence only your aunt seemed to have. Still, there were faint marks of hesitation. A word scratched out here, a sentence started and abandoned there. Unusual for her. You smoothed the page and began to read, putting aside any guilt over your nosiness. To my dear Quinn.
I'm writing this with ink far too smudgy for my taste, and on paper that deserves better than my restless scratching, but perhaps that is fitting. For you are one of the few people I know who can take scraps and turn them into something whole. A half-emptied cuppa becomes a feast, a half-thought phrase becomes poetry, a half-hearted day becomes bearable. I am leaving Willowmist for a time. Do not fret, it is not forever. You would, of course. You always worry more than you say. I will return, of course. I always do. When I do, I hope you will forgive me for slipping away without saying goodbye. You deserve so much better than vanishing acts and riddles. I should have told you this. I should have told you this in person. I nearly did, standing outside the silver oak with words right on the edge of my tongue. But I could not bring myself to. Not because I do not trust you, Quinn, but because I trust you too much. You would look at me with those foolishly kind eyes of yours and ask me to stay, and I might have. I cannot afford that weakness, not right now. There are more important matters only I can attend to that cannot wait a moment longer. Take care of yourself, Quinn. And please, don't forget to eat something other than your own cooking now and then. Even chefs need looking after. Yours, always, Sylvie. You sat frozen for a long moment, the words hanging heavy in the air around you. It wasn't like the other letters she'd left behind for you. This one felt different, softer, more vulnerable, and it hadn't even been sealed, let alone delivered. Why had she hidden it away here? Why never send it at all? Oh, Auntie, you're more complicated than I give you credit for.
Yeah, I mean, do we give the letter to Quinn or no? Honestly, I'm half tempted to. But that's also like our aunt's business, you know? So maybe we shouldn't. So I don't know, not that they're really gonna give me a choice. But yeah, that would startle me finding that, to be honest. What would you do? I could see it either way. But I would be curious about what you would do if you were in the main character's shoes. Anyways, you carefully slid the letter back into the envelope, leaving it no worse off than when it started. You could have easily have slipped it back between the pages of the magazines to remain hidden forever. It wasn't your place. But something stopped you, and you instead stood up and headed towards the door. Oh, we're going to go deliver the letter. The silver oak was alive with light and sound, even in the middle of the day. The air smelled of herbs and roasted garlic, underscored by the sweetness of something caramelizing slowly in the oven. It was a kind of smell that made your stomach growl, no matter how recently you'd eaten. Several patrons lingered despite the hour, sipping drinks in the garden or eating a meal. It didn't take you long to spot Quinn a few tables down. He was moving gracefully between patrons, balancing 3 plates at once and a full glass of wine, and talking animatedly, to his customers. Your eyes met, and nearly instantly he was by you, and your side, face beaming. Ah, my newest and most radiant customer. No, my newest friend, my newest confidant, my newest partner in culinary crime. He swept into a dramatic bow, somehow without spilling a drop of the wine he carried. His hair slipped forward over his shoulder like a curtain of dark silk. Tell me you are here to dine, to taste the wonders of my kitchen, to bask in the company of Willowmist's finest oak. I thought I said cook. Like, boo. Oak. Actually, I came because I found something of yours. Something of mine? A lost trinket? A misplaced poem? My dignity, perhaps. I've been searching for that one for years. Haha. You held out the envelope, Quinn's hand still before he reached for it. His gaze lingered on it, recognition flickering instantly across his features, as if he could tell who had written it from the lack of a name on the front. For a moment, the noise of the restaurant seemed to fade around him. He took the letter slowly, almost reverently, as though it might vanish if he moved too quickly. Sylvie's hand. He spoke the words softly as if testing them. His thumb brushed the edge of the letter and he let out a small, shaky laugh that didn't quite reach his eyes. For me, she never gave this to me. His eyes scanned the first few lines. His smile faltered. Whatever flamboyant quip had been waiting on his tongue shriveled into silence. With a quiet exhale, Quinn tucked the letter back into the envelope and slipped it against his chest. His usual energy was still there, but muted, like a fire burning low. Thank you, Blue, for bringing this to me. His voice caught and he cleared his throat, forcing a grin back onto his face. I owe you a meal. No arguments. The finest thing you've ever tasted, and then some. Consider it payment for your noble service as courier of forgotten words. You don't have to. But I must. If I did not, the very foundations of the silver oak would crumble. And then where would Willowmist be? Hungry, despairing, and devoid of risotto. The grin was convincing, but not quite enough to hide the heaviness in his eyes. Still, he clapped you warmly on the shoulder, his voice booming again to cover the crack in his armor. Do you know why she didn't give this to you? I could guess. But Sylvie has always been a storm. You can predict the thunder, never the lightning. But enough of my melancholy. I will not let you carry my burdens when you already carry the store. No, no. This letter is a gift in its own way. Reminder that she thought of me. And for that, my heart is lighter, not heavier. Now, how about that meal, Another day. I'm actually meant to be minding the store. Oh, my deepest apologies for stealing you away for so long then. How terrible of me. Terrible indeed. Have a lovely day, my dear. And thank you. Oh, Quinn. Oh, we leveled up. Quinn. I love Quinn so much. It's really been great, getting to know him a lot in this story so far. I really want to know more about him in the full game. Level up. You're now level 4. No new unlocks. Okay, that's fine. With that, you turn to leave. You glance over your shoulder and back and saw him staring down at the letter, a small, wistful smile on his lips. Yes, well seasoned. Hell yeah. Okay, the book, I want to make it $200. And you at least 100? Oh. I don't know if I got to set the thing. It just kind of went. I pressed enter, but I don't know if it triggered something else. Hold on. Inventory? Can I go to inventory? Okay. That should be fine. Good day. I had a gap between clients and thought I'd check in, says Emmett. Welcome. Owl Plate has a lot more charm than I'd like to admit. Reasonable enough. I'll take it off your hands. Hell yeah! Hell yeah. Thanks, Emmett. Until next time, Miss Marigold. Yeah, see you next time. The customer leaves the store. Phoebe's here.
Hi, not Granny Sylvie.
Welcome.
Christmas Bell's brooch reminds me of Mom's laugh, but quieter. What if I give you $7?
Maybe 10. Counter offer. Will you do 10?
How about 10? I'll buy it. That way it won't get lonely here.
Well, thank you so much. It can be Christmas all year round. Appreciate it.
This was fun.
Yeah, see you next time. Customer leaves the store. You saw 2 customers today, but no one else is coming now. Okay. Gotta pay my bills today. You're leaning against the counter, eating the last of your food supplies, when Florian comes in through the front door, nearly dragging his bag behind him. You thought it would be impossible, but somehow he looked even more tired than usual. Hi, Florian. Long night? He pulled off his usual disguise. Good morning. Night, afternoon. Oh, fuck. Whatever it is. A brilliant start to your shift. Can I get you a coffee or something? Yes. Wait. No. Ugh. Seriously, are you okay? I'm fine. God, you're so nosy. It's just been a long few days. Florian dragged his bag over to the counter and sat down with a sigh. I can tell. You're looking worse every day. Gee, thanks. Florian's voice was a flat monotone, as if all the energy had been sucked out of him. You could always take a few days off. I'm sure we could manage. I'll have to take a double shift on sweeping, but hey, I could use the arm workout. I do more than sweeping, you know. Also, I don't want to. I'm not sick, just... It's fine. Stop worrying about me and worry about something more productive. Give me an example then, and I'll consider it. Running the store? I think I've kinda got that down by now. Something else. Fuck, I don't know. All this supernatural stuff you're struggling with. Yeah, actually about that. What? I think I might be a witch or a wizard or something along those lines. Huh? God, what changed overnight? To make a long story short, a magic book with the worst personality ever pretty much hit me in the face with a revelation. I'm... fine. You know what? Sure. Magic books? Great. Really? That's all? What do you want me to say? You're a witch. Hooray. Let's celebrate. I kinda thought you'd have a bit more to say than that. Do you know if my aunt was like this? Well, there was certainly something wrong with her. Hey. I don't mean... Look, she's eccentric, and she lives here. There was always going to be something up with her. So you didn't know she was a witch? Nope. She tends to keep things to herself. It's kinda her thing. And you're fine with that. Look, she pays me. I don't care if she's a witch or an alien or whatever else. Just as long as my bills get paid. You know what? I pretty much feel that, Florian. I'm sure you have sick leave, you know. You ought to use it. I'm not sick. Leave it. Geez, alright. I'll drop it. Florian, let out a breath. Okay, I thought it was a dialogue. Sorry, I've just had a shit few days. If you're a witch or whatever, maybe you have some spell to give me my energy back. He laughed weakly and rested his head on the counter. I'd give anything to sleep right now. You can use my bed if you'd like. I can't think of anything weirder than sleeping in Sylvie's room. I think the bed smells more like me than her, if that helps. It does not. It's not for lack of trying anyway. Thanks for the offer, though. Give him a pat on the head. Oh, Florian. You reached down and gave him a pat on his head. His hair was actually very soft. What are you doing? Blush, blush. Sorry. Really, it was kind of force of habit. You reminded me of my mom's dog. Your mom's dog? Yeah. When she's grumpy, she puts her head down like that, too. My bad. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, you're much softer than her. Whatever. Blush. I have work to do. He practically flew away from the counter, cheeks turning bright red. Sorry, Florian. With that, you finished up your lunch break and got back to work. Time to pay these bills. I will feel free. You sat down at your desk, ready to go over the week's bills. You paid your bills in full. Thank God, $150. was a little past 5 p.m. when you flipped over the sign on the door to close and let out a drowsy sigh. What a day. You say that every day, you know, like a broken record. Well, every day is exhausting. In a good way, though. How could anything be exhausting in a good way? Haven't you ever finished something and been tired, but really proud of your work? Nope. I usually finish shit, then wish I'd never started it in the first place. You're kind of a pessimist. The world isn't sunshine and rainbows. That's true, but, well, bad things will always happen, but life goes on. Isn't that kind of cool? Not really. Maybe if you didn't frown so much, you'd be more positive. I don't think it works like that. Give it a try. See? Just copy my face. It's really easy. Just relax your muscles and... No, still frowning, I see. It's not a frown. It's just my face. That's unfortunate for you. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Noisy must run in your family or something. Noisy, annoying, and a complete pain in the ass. You forgot gorgeous, charming, and funny. No, trust me, I didn't. You grinned, and Florian turned away from you, looking around the store. It looked as it always did, a mess of knickknacks and clutter, but a clean one. Florian did a good job, even if he always tried to deny it. Hey Florian, I was wondering something. You're always wondering something or another. You never stop asking questions. It's good to have an inquisitive brain, you know? Keeps me young, or something like that, anyway. Is it? It seems like a lot of effort, especially when you could just keep your mouth shut and think to yourself instead. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I know that you grew up in town, but not much else. You haven't always worked here, right? What'd you do before? Is it important? That depends on how important you think getting to know each other is. Not important, then. I think you default to being mean when you feel shy. Bingo. Look, I used to be in college, but that didn't work out and I dropped out. There's a college here? That's surprising. I didn't know the population of Willowmist could support it. No, it was in the city. Didn't you say you'd always lived here? I was only gone a few months. It hardly counts. Well, why'd you drop out? Got bored of your major? Why is this so important to you? You've got a magic book upstairs, right? Why don't you go bug it instead? I don't know if Barnabas would like that. He has a name? Hey, I didn't pick it. He came pre-named. Though, to be fair, Barnabas is kind of a rocking name. Hey, you're changing the subject. Barnabas has nothing to do with this. I'm interested in you. Health complications, all right. I couldn't stay, but I also couldn't come back when... look, fine. If you're so desperate to know, I'll tell you. But can we sit down? My head is killing me. Yeah, of course. We can use my room upstairs if that's all right with you. Florian, blushing. We're just gonna sit. We'll be fine, Florian. I guess you don't know what it looks like up there. Florian looked to the side, a dusting of red appearing on his cheeks. Now, who's trying to get who into bed? I never mentioned the bed, did I? You're the one thinking about that. I never... No need to deny it. You literally just brought it up. Look, you're cute, but I think that's jumping ahead a little, don't you? I'm not. You don't. Ugh. With that, Florian turned around and stomped upstairs, huffing the entire way up. There are chairs there, buddy. There's a kitchen. Like a living room. Welcome to my humble abode, Sir Florian. God, shut up. You sound like Lucille. Is that a bad thing? I know you two are pretty different, but I hope that's not a problem. One Lucille is enough, that's all. It's not like I hate her, she's just a lot. All right, I'll keep the chivalry to a minimum, my fair liege. He flopped down on your couch, sinking into the cushions. Florian followed, though much more cautiously, perching himself on the opposite end. He looked around the room, his gaze lingering on a photo frame. It had been there when you arrived, a picture of a much younger Aunt Sylvie holding a baby. It must have been you. This place is weirdly empty. You think? It's packed with all kinds of stuff in here. Sometimes I wonder where my aunt got it all. No, I mean, Sylvie has a big personality. She kind of filled any space she was in. I'm trying my best over here. I guess it's all right with you here, too. Blush, blush. Oh, thanks for the compliment, Sir Florian. Hey, I'll take second best to her. She's amazing. Anyway, what were we talking about? You dropping out of college? Right. Okay, we're gonna find out. Oh my gosh. I want to know more about Florian. I mean, I didn't think we were gonna learn about talking about dropping out of college, but you know, hey, we'll see what happened. Florian blinked a few times, as if his eyes were trying to stay open. Are you feeling okay? Stop asking me that. I'm fine. He gently rubbed his temples, then shook his head. Just a headache. It's no big deal. Anyway, college... I just had some health shit, and I left, but... Look, I won't sugarcoat it, and I'm not asking for your pity. My dad ran off after my little sister was born, and my mom struggled to raise both of us. I quit high school to have a couple part-time jobs to help her. Oh, Florian, I'm sorry. You do what you have to do to survive. It's fine. But my mom, she secretly saved up to send me to college. For years without telling me, then she just sent me off. She wanted the best for you. Yeah, but why should that best not include them? Fine, whatever, I went. And I couldn't face them when I dropped out. They think I'm still in the city, living my life, getting my degree. And I can't bring myself to tell them otherwise. Oh. So wait, they live in Willowmist, but they have no idea you're here too? Florian, why? They would probably love to see you. I can't. I can't face them. She gave up everything for me, and I just let her down completely. What am I meant to say? Hey mom, turns out I'm a fuck-up who can't even make it through a semester of college. Surprise. I mean, damn. You're being so hard on yourself, Florian. I concur with Blue here. She'd be happy just seeing you and knowing you're safe. That's what parents do, especially if it's health-related. I can't. Not like this. Florian's head sank down into his hands, his shoulders trembling. I'm not who I was when I left. I'm not her perfect little son anymore. Aww, pull you into a hug. Without thinking, you leaned forward and pulled Florian into a hug. He stiffened, his breath catching, and his hands hovered over your back. Where do you... I'm sorry, Florian, really. Slowly, though, his arms wrapped around you, he squeezed you tight. It's not your fault. There's no reason to be sorry. I just want to go home and feel like things are normal again. Can't you? I truly, honestly believe that your mom would just be happy to see you. It's not just that. I don't deserve it anymore. I can't trust myself around her or my sister. Trust yourself? Even you should be keeping your distance. God, you're so fucking naive. I'll just mess things up for you too. Everything I touch just falls apart. I don't think that's true. I'm right here and I haven't fallen apart yet. The store hasn't fallen down around us. You're not destroying anything. Yet. Well, I didn't want to share any of this shit, you know. It's embarrassing. Blush, blush. There's no shame in feeling emotions. Isn't that proof we're human? I know that it's difficult for you, and I can't just magically make it better. But if you need someone to talk to or anything else, you can rely on me. You're too nice, you know. You're going to end up getting taken advantage of. By who? You? I don't think you have the energy to take advantage of anyone, even if you wanted to. Thanks, I guess. Florian pulled back and wiped his eyes with his sleeve. Oh, Florian. Seriously, though, don't say anything about this to anyone. Our secret. I'm pretty good at keeping secrets, you know?
Hardly. You've known me for less than 24 hours and you've already broadcast my existence to the entirety of this quaint little establishment. At this rate, I expect you'll be handing out pamphlets by a week's end. Truly, your discretion is legendary.
What the?
There he is, my favorite talking book in the whole world. Not a lot of competition there, but don't let that hurt your feelings. And to be fair, I haven't told everyone yet, only Florian. Oh, Florian, meet Barnabas. Barnabas? Florian.
It literally talks. Did you think I was making it up? No, but I didn't expect...
My reputation precedes me, as always. Hello, Florian. It's a pleasure to meet a friend of my esteemed master, or some such shrivel. Barnabas isn't very nice, if you haven't noticed.
No shit.
You'll have to excuse me, as I was rudely interrupted in the middle of my rest.
Your rest? What does a book have to be so tired about anyway?
Plenty of things, you impudent creature. The effort it takes to communicate with my new master, for example, is truly a Herculean task.
That Barnabas floated across the room and landed on the desk. Barnabas was like, my nap is not done. It just flies? Oh, God, I'm too tired for this shit. Now I've embarrassed myself in front of 2 people. Great.
Fortunately for you, I have the displeasure of being in service only to my pitiful master, and as such have no one to share your shame with.
Just ignore him. I'll put him up in the drawer if he keeps it up.
The audacity! Fine, silence me, but mark my words, you will soon regret it.
This must all be a lot for you, too. Just a little bit. I like to think I'm pretty good at running with things, but sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't even really know where to start. But I've got all the time in the world to work it out anyway. Aren't you going home in 3 months? Okay, I've got 3 months to work it out. Thanks, Florian. Sorry, I wasn't trying to make it worse. I'm kidding. Really, I'm having fun. I'll be fine. I wish I had a drop of your optimism. Change fucking sucks. Yeah, but sometimes it can be really great, too. I've only been here a week and it feels like I've made a whole bunch of friends. It's really, really great. Yeah, well, you're easy to like. Am I now? Yeah, Florian, am I now? For some people. Not me, he says, while blushing. Ah, you don't like me at all? Well, I like you. Damn, I already planned out our wedding and everything. You'll come around eventually. Damn, I already planned out our wedding and everything. We have many weddings for everyone. What? Our 3 kids, Alexis, Jasmine, and Michael, a white picket fence, and a dog named Bobo. And you just throw it all away. Throw it all away? It doesn't exist. You're delusional, blushing still. So, that's a no to my proposal. No. So it's a yes? No, I mean it's... Oh, God, you're so frustrating. I love you too. Don't say stuff like that. And seriously, Bobo? What kind of name is that? What do you suggest then? Toaster. Toaster? That's a good name for a dog. It's not better than Bobo. I disagree. At Florian's more than serious tone, you couldn't help but grin. Fine, Toaster it will be. Hey, that's not... I feel like I've just been scammed into a marriage. You have. This is all legally binding. God, please tell me you're joking. I am, but I do like you, Florian, as much as you try to be unlikable. I'm not saying we need to be best friends, but I do hope that we can get along. Yeah. Yeah, fine. I wouldn't mind being friends with you. And you're not terrible to work with. Yay! Yes, we're getting somewhere now. Hey, what's your sister like? I can imagine you as a super doting older brother, now that I think about it. I mean, yeah, I guess I was. She's super bossy and a pain in the ass, but, well, she is my sister. How old is she? 10. Probably 11 now, actually. Do you have any photos? You scooted a little closer to Florian on the couch. Yeah, I think so. Florian reached into his pocket and took out his phone, flipping through his photo album. He couldn't help but lean in to see what was on his screen. You could see pictures of a little girl, a woman who must have been his mother, and Florian himself, though a few years younger. It was hard not to notice how much brighter Florian looked. He lacked his signature eye bags, and he had a wide smile on his face. It was the kind of smile you'd never seen from him. That's her. Wow, you two look similar. You could be twins. Sure, if I wasn't 13 years older than her. Mom had me young. She's adorable, Florian. And your mom looks really nice, too. In response, you pulled out your own phone, scrolling through until you found a picture of you standing next to your mom, back when you moved into your first apartment, which is also the apartment you just moved out of. This is my mom, a few years ago. Wow, your genes run strong, huh? Yep, my aunt and her look pretty similar, don't you think? This was back when I moved out of home. I lived in this little apartment right in the middle of the city. Sounds noisy. Yeah, I didn't sleep a lot. You let out a soft laugh before locking your phone and placing it down, back on the table. That apartment was so weird. Did you know that the elevator fell like a dozen times? And there was an earthquake localized to just the building, and a crane ramped in the first floor, all in a single year. I didn't know where the sentence were going. Lots of things happened. Seriously. Yeah, but not a single person got hurt. I swear to God, someone in that building upset the Grim Reaper or something. For the first time since you'd met him, Florian smiled, his hand coming up to his mouth as he tried to muffle a laugh. Maybe you're cursed or something. Well, with everything else going on, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. You've got a nice smile, you know? Blushing, Florian blinked and his cheeks slowly turned red. What? I said you have a pretty nice smile. That's all. I didn't really mean anything by it. It's just nice to see. You come out with the most random things. You're meant to just think that kind of shit, not say it. Why not? Why not, Florian? You're just so caught off guard. He leaned back, smacking his head gently a few times on the back of the sofa. Ugh, my headache is killing me. I hate when headaches do that. That was me yesterday. I've got painkillers in the bathroom cabinet if you want. They don't really help, but fuck it, I'll try. Are they migraine stuff? Because those are no fun either. Maybe that's the health thing that he's been dealing with. You hopped off the couch and headed to the bathroom. Your aunt had left an assortment of pills and medicines in the cupboard, but you didn't have a clue what most of them were for. You scooped up the painkillers, then popped back out. Florian was still in the same spot, but his eyes were shut tight, and his chest gently rose and fell with each breath.
Don't tell me another imbecile is moving into my quarters.
Shh, be quiet. He's sleeping. And these aren't your quarters. I'm just letting you stay here with me. Letting you stay here with me. Because I'm nice.
Shh, Barnabas, they say. You're interrupting the poor, tired man's beauty sleep, they cry. Well, fine. I'll just be silent, then, if that is what you desire.
Carefully, you draped a knitted blanket over Florian's legs and settled in next to him, watching his sleeping face. He looked peaceful, much more peaceful than when he was awake. God, you really were exhausted. You ought to take better care of yourself, you know that? Well, you'll probably hate me for it, but I'll let you rest for a bit, okay? Maybe I'll close my eyes for a bit too. Just a bit. That'd be okay, right? Night, Florian. With a yawn, you drifted off to sleep as well. midday nap. Well, actually, it's like 5 p.m. at least, I think. I guess I could finish this. We're about an hour into my recording. You woke up to the sound of someone shifting beside you, amongst the otherwise gentle hum of night. Lazily, you opened your eyes, expecting to see Florian on his feet, embarrassed about falling asleep beside you, but instead noticed a shadowed figure hovering above you, leaning towards you. Huh? Who are you? Is it Florian? Florian. Hello. Are you sleepy? Doo-doo. Just want to pat him on the head like we did earlier. You blinked, trying to wake up your sluggish mind, and finally realized it was Florian. He was close to you, and his eyes were half-lidded, his expression distant and unfocused. One hand was down beside you, and the other braced against the couch to the side of your head. A sudden chill ran through your body, despite the warmth still lingering in the air. Florian. No response came from Florian. He remained completely still, staring at you. No, not at you, but at your neck. Okay, I'm gonna save my commentary for later. His head dipped lower. The faintest brush of his nose against your skin sent a jolt through your nerves, and suddenly, the sluggish fog in your mind cleared as his mouth was inches from your neck, his breath hot against your skin. Your eyes went to his face, and then you noticed something, a flash of something pointed and sharp between his parted lips. Fangs. Your body tensed. Your heart hammered in your chest, and his breath hitched like you could hear it. Florian? No response. It was almost as if he wasn't truly himself. His posture was wrong, like he was acting on instinct alone. And in the dark, with a glint of moonlight reflecting off his eyes, his gaze looked almost empty. You felt the faintest graze of teeth against your skin, a breath's distance from sinking in now. A shiver ran down your spine, but you managed to keep a lid on the panic threatening to break through. Okay, so he's a vampire. So did he know that? And he's been resisting the change for a while, but did Sylvie know that? And that's why she had the little vial in her first aid kit that we saw like on the first night or whatever, or maybe the second day, I'm not sure. We're gonna reach up and touch his face. You lifted a hand and reached out, cupping Florian's cheek. The movement caused his eyes to open wider, and his lips paused. Slowly and ever so gently, you brushed your thumb across his cheek, expecting warmth radiating from his skin, but instead finding him as cold as a corpse. Your hand shook slightly, and your breath was ragged and shallow. Florian, are you there? At the sound of his name, he blinked a few times, and then looked down. And he realized things. So he is a vampire, but does he know he's a vampire? When he saw where he was, he recoiled as if burned, falling off the sofa and landing heavily on the door. His breathing was erratic and his hands were shaking, but he couldn't bring himself to look up. Shit, fuck. I didn't mean to. Florian, it's okay, calm down. You pushed yourself off the couch and crouched next to Florian. Don't come near me. Florian, seriously, it's fine. It's all okay. Just take a deep breath. You tried to put a hand on his shoulder, but he backed up, his face twisted in a pain grimace. Just don't come near me. Fuck, I can't believe I'm a fucking idiot. I shouldn't be here around people. Fuck. So maybe his dad was a vampire? Unless his mom knows that he's a vampire because she's the vampire. Question mark? I have a lot of different questions, but I'm assuming it was the dad. But it could be them if they've always lived in Willowmist. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see. Look, you didn't hurt me. But I wanted to. I wanted to so badly. But you didn't. You inched forward until you were next to Florian again. He turned his face away from you, but didn't protest. His breathing was coming fast and ragged, like he couldn't quite catch it. You're a... Don't say it. I'm not... a vampire. You could see Florian's body trembling, even in the dark. I have to go. Is that what all this sickness has been about? You're hungry? I can't do this. Not again. I can't do this to anyone.
As quickly as he could manage, Florian pushed himself up and ran for the door. Florian! He was fast. Faster than he should have been, especially given how weak and shaky he looked. In moments, you heard the door downstairs slam shut. You jumped to your feet and rushed downstairs, knowing full well that Florian was long gone, but wanting to try anyway. Well, are we gonna go look for him? Damn it.
Are you looking for Florian?
Oh, Winnie. You turned to see her legs, or rather sitting on the counter, transparent legs hanging over the edge. Yeah, I was hoping he'd still be here, I guess.
He ran off really quick. He looked upset about something.
It's complicated, but I think I might have hurt his feelings. You don't happen to know where he lives or his number, do you?
No, Florian doesn't really share that kind of stuff.
Right. I'll have to talk to him tomorrow, then. Moonlit fangs. I knew he was a vampire, but he's... Okay, so this is maybe because he came of age, but maybe it is, like, genetic in this case. So that's kind of random. I mean, the dad could just be terrible and ran away, but maybe that's also what happened. And maybe it'll happen to his sister, too, or... I'm not really sure. Or maybe this is just his, like, his parent, like, his mom's side of family things. Who knows? Oh gosh, it's only 7:30? You hadn't slept for more than an hour or two. It felt like much longer. Your stomach growled and you remembered that you hadn't eaten dinner yet and that you were pretty much out of food. I'll have to head out and find a grocery store, so I guess I'll just keep an eye out for Florian. Not that I'll likely find him at a grocery store, if he's really a vampire. You turned towards the door before stopping in your tracks. Is everything alright? Winnie's legs stopped kicking back and forth, and she stared towards the ground, biting her lip. She fiddled with her sleeves and kept her eyes away from yours.
You asked me about going out for dinner with you, right?
Yeah, that's right. I'd love for you to come. And I forgot to ask Florian.
Well, I want to go.
That's great.
But I'm really scared.
Scared?
I haven't ever tried to leave the building.
Wait, not even once?
No, I'm scared that if I try, I'll just disappear.
Winnie's shoulders drooped and she sighed.
It's dumb, I know it is, but I've been here for as long as I remember, and I don't know if I exist outside this building. What if the only reason I've lasted this long is because I've stayed here? What if I'm really dead, and if I leave, I'll pass on?
Winnie's eyes went down to her feet, and she swung them back and forth slowly. Hey, it's all right, Winnie. Seriously, it's okay. It sounds scary. If you would rather stay here, we can just do something else. Just the two of us.
But I want to go. I want to spend time with everyone and laugh and have fun. I don't care if I can't eat or anything, but I don't want to be alone anymore. But I'm too scared. I'm always too scared.
He approached the counter and reached out, placing a hand over hers. It didn't feel like anything. You couldn't truly touch her. But the thought was there. If you want to do it, then do it. Be brave. I'll be right there beside you. You won't have to do it alone. Winnie hesitated for a moment, then pulled her hand back and floated down from the counter.
Okay, you're right. I want to go. Thanks, Blue. You're the best.
Did you want to try coming out with me now?
No. Thanks, but I think I need to build myself up for tomorrow.
All right, then it's a date. If you change your mind, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
At that, you double-checked you had your key before heading out into the growing night. The air was crisp and cold as you stepped out of the front door, and the wind rustled the trees that lined the street. There didn't seem to be anyone else wandering about, but then, you supposed most people would be sitting down for dinner or tucked into bed for an early night's rest by now. Bundling your clothes closer to your body, you started on your way to the main square. The town square was a little more lively than the store, but not by much. It seemed as if a good portion of the shops were closed or closing for the night, and only a few people wandered the streets. It was a far cry from the bustling crowds and bright lights of the city. The streets were clean and quiet, and the houses were well maintained without any signs of graffiti or broken windows. You could get used to this life. You eyed the various stores around the area, a bookshop, a coffee shop, a hardware store, a pharmacy. Then you saw it. Nestled at the corner of the street, a small grocery store, the same one Lucille had pointed out to you when you'd gone out for dinner just the other night. The light inside was on, and a small open sign hung in the window. You walked towards it, keeping an eye out for Florian, but to no success. Ooh, cute, look at the store. Inside was what you would expect of a grocery store, though much smaller in scale than the big stores back home. The aisles were narrow and the shelves were cramped, but it seemed like they had pretty much anything you'd need. The lone cashier nodded to you as you passed. No self-checkout here, which didn't surprise you. You won't take over today, computer overlords. You grabbed a basket and began picking out some basics: milk, eggs, butter, those sorts of things. Twice in one day. I think that's what they call bait. You turned, hearing a familiar voice behind you, to see Eden leaning against his shopping cart, red hair tousled. Unless, of course, you just couldn't stay away and decided to search me out, in which case I'm even happier. Eden grinned, and it was a little infectious. Actually, the allure of a full stomach pulled me here. Fate it is, then. So what are you making for dinner? I'm tossing up between a sandwich or a cup of noodles. Oh, you shouldn't break out the fine china just for me, says Eden. Who said you were invited? Sorry, this is a meal for one, but I always like to impress on the first date. The cup noodles are usually a hit. I have a slightly more refined palate. How about instant mac and cheese? The microwavable kind? Of course. Now you're speaking my language. You're cute, you know that. And I think Lucille was telling the truth about you being a shameless flirt. I'll have you know that I'm the pinnacle of virtue. If a person is beautiful, shouldn't they be told so? Eden leaned over his cart further, his eyes scanning you up and down. And you're definitely beautiful. Are we blushing? I feel flattered, but I bet you're like this with everyone. Only the most beautiful ones. He grinned and you rolled your eyes, though a smile crept onto your face. You glanced down to his shopping cart, but were surprised to not see any food. You instead noticed an assortment of cleaning products, gloves, string, and duct tape. Suddenly my dinner looks like a 5-star restaurant compared to yours. Not hungry for duct tape? Maybe as a treat after dinner. You both laughed, and it was like a weight lifted from your chest. The events of earlier that night melted away, if only for this moment. I do a lot of DIY stuff, so I'm stocking up. Really? That doesn't look like woodworking supplies to me. You do look like someone who knows a lot about woodworking. I've worked with wood once or twice in my life, yeah. Oh, really? Care to show me sometime? Sure, just tell me where to send the bill for my services. Being a woodworker yourself, you'd probably know all the right techniques, wouldn't you? Well, I've been told I'm pretty good with my hands, yeah. And I'm very open to critique. We just have to practice until you're satisfied. Eden smirked and pushed his cart to the side, letting another customer through. Can you imagine being that other customer being like, the hell am I hearing at this time of night? These two people, they're flirting. Care to join me, or would you rather stay here in the condiments aisle forever? I can think of worse aisles to be stuck in, but I think I'll join you. The two of you started to walk through the aisle, and Eden took your basket and placed it in his cart. Wouldn't want your arms getting tired. So, mysterious shopkeeper, I'm incredibly curious about you. Oh, really? You're the talk of the town, after all. Things must be really slow right now if I'm the talk of the town. You know how small towns are. They'll find anything to gossip about. He picked up a bottle of olive oil and dropped it into the cart. And yet, despite being the most interesting thing that's happened here in months, no one knows much about you. Most people assume that Sylvie didn't have any relatives. He glanced over at you. As far as I'm aware, she's never left Willowmist either. What could pull her away so suddenly and drop you in her place? If you say please, I might be honest with you. Pretty please? I have no clue. Really, I'm not trying to be evasive, but honestly, I don't know. I have no clue why she decided to leave. She wrote me a letter and asked me to come, and here I am. She had already left when I arrived. So a mystery then. Even more interesting. But that doesn't say much about you. Want to tell me a bit about yourself? Depends on what you want to know. If it's the numbers on my credit card, probably not. Where you grew up, for example. What your parents were like. What's your favorite color? Eden grinned and shrugged his shoulders. Take your pick, whatever you're willing to share. I'll just answer honestly. You want me to condense all of my interesting experiences in history down to a few sentences. I'd take an essay if you had one. I don't, but it's never too late to start. In the meantime, I grew up in the city with my mom, and I didn't know my dad. C's all the way through school, and my favorite color is green, like what I'm wearing. Your turn. Well, actually, I do have an essay prepared, so... He reached into his overshirt as if he had something hidden there, but came up with nothing. Damn, I must have left it at home. I'm sure you can give me the synopsis, at least. I've made a few recent amendments you might enjoy. For example, did you know that I've discovered quite recently that my favorite color is orange? Uh-huh. And I bet when you meet someone with blue eyes, your favorite color is blue. Do I really seem that shallow? I think Lucille doesn't dislike people for no reason. Eden glanced around, as if to check no one was watching. Don't tell me you brought your guard dog with you on while grocery shopping. Maybe I did. She'll jump out when you least expect it. I promise I'll be on my very best behavior then. Eden added a few more things to his cart, mostly small things and nothing that could be considered a meal alone. A single potato, flour, but no other baking ingredients, a box of gelatin. Random things, seemingly. Amidst the chatting, you found food for dinner too. I want instant noodles. You'd oohed and awed over the flavor, but decided on original. It was the original for a reason. The two of you continued circling the store until you found everything you came for. Dinner for the night, some fresh fruit, and a few essentials like soap and toothpaste. It wasn't much, but it would do. Eden, however, kept your basket hostage in his cart as he continued onwards, in no sort of rush. So, have you always been a carpenter? Oh, no. I tried my hand at a lot of things, actually. A jack of all trades, master of none, that kind of thing. Most recently I was a bartender, but it wasn't for me. And before that, a cook, painter, a photographer, and a waiter too. Is any of that actually true? At least half of it. Probably. Maybe. Really though, I didn't come out into the world expecting to be a carpenter. It just sort of happened. It was a niche that needed filling in Willowmist. The last carpenter disappeared under mysterious circumstances that had nothing to do with me. Why do I doubt everything you say to me? Maybe you're a good judge of character. He added a couple more things to the cart and then began pushing it down another aisle, one you'd already been down twice. What made you pick carpentry, though? That's a pretty specific skill. Like I said, I'm pretty good with my hands. He looked down to his hands, but he was still wearing the same gloves from that morning. There's something satisfying about making something real with your own hands. You start with just an idea, a few scraps of wood, and then suddenly there it is. Something solid. Something that exists because you willed it to. I think that's what I like about it. You take something raw, shape it into what it's supposed to be. Simple, straightforward. A piece of wood doesn't argue with you about what it should be. That's oddly deep coming from you. What can I say? I'm an oddly deep man. I'm sure you'll get to know that about me soon enough. He added a few more items to his cart and continued onwards again. You followed, more amused than anything else. I'm starting to wonder if you're leading me in circles, Eden. You can't blame a man for wanting good company. Oh, so it was on purpose. Of course, I wouldn't miss the chance to spend more time with you. But I suppose now the game is up, shall we? He motioned towards the counter where the cashier was still idling away. Grabbing your basket out of his cart, you checked out first and headed outside. I don't have a really good read on what Eden's doing, but I guess we'll know. Maybe the next day we'll get to interact with him more, especially at the dinner. It had gotten much cooler again when you'd been inside. The breeze rustled in the leaves overhead, and a few stray leaves spiraled down from the branches and landed in your hair. You reached up and shook them loose. Eden followed behind, carrying several bags. Thanks for waiting. What, did you think I'd ditch you and run off? Maybe. I don't think I've got a good read on you yet, Blue. You're interesting. I was considering it, but then I'd imagine you standing all alone in the cold with big, sad puppy dog eyes, and I couldn't do it. Big, sad puppy dog eyes, huh? So that's the kind of man I am in your mind. I don't mind playing that part. Well, I was gonna say a lost child at the supermarket, but I thought you might take offense. He flashed you a playful grin before glancing across the road. The street lamps cast a soft glow over the little park nearby. The swings swayed gently in the breeze, creaking faintly under their own weight. Now, since you were kind enough not to abandon me, allow me to return the favor. Oh, what favor is that? You're not going to grab my shopping and keep me hostage again, are you? He nodded toward the empty swings, then tilted his head at you expectantly. I happen to know that the swings over there have the best views of the stars in town. Trust me. His grin widened. Or not, if you don't want to. Sure, what? Alone in the park watching the stars? How romantic. I didn't realize that was your style, Eden. Oh, and what did you think my style was? From my first impression of you, I thought you'd be more likely to invite me back to your place for the night. Would you have said yes? No, probably not. Not the second time we met anyway. And the third time? We'll see. Eden laughed. I'll have to try and impress you next time then. Eden, somehow, with an armful of bags of groceries, linked his free arm with yours and led the way over to the swings. They were, as he said, not too far away and completely deserted. A few small lamps cast the area in a pale yellow glow, and a couple of benches were positioned beneath the trees, their surface covered in leaves. You could see the moon above the treetops. There was something cozy about that place, secluded and peaceful, but not lonely. Just a small hidden space in the middle of town, a perfect spot for a midnight rendezvous. Or just a place to chat, which was what you were actually doing. I guess we don't have a background for this, which is okay. Keep us in suspense for the full game about what this cozy little place looks like. Eden set his groceries down on a bench, then walked over to the swings, taking one of the two. He took the other, and he gently swung back and forth. CG, okay. Like the piercings. So, what do you think of Willowmist so far? Well, what I have seen has been beautiful. Kind people, great food, and the night is clear and cool. It's a lot quieter than back home. I could get used to this. And you're staying for 3 months. That's a decently long time, but also no time at all. Yeah, 3 months and then it's back home again. You sound a little disappointed at that. I don't know if I am or not, really. Things have just been a whirlwind ever since I've arrived. And now it's already been a whole week. I'll blink and then it'll be time to leave. Eden chuckled and held a little tighter to the swing's chains, still looking up at the stars. Then why leave? Well, my mom is still back home. Even 3 months without her is a long time. Don't you ever miss your parents all the way out here? I'm sure I would if I knew them. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. Really, family is a little meaningless to me. So, not raised by grandparents either. I had a more communal living experience. But forget that. I'm far more interested in you. Why not bring your mom here too? She and my aunt don't have the best relationship, not that I know why. I wish I could have gotten her here. She'd love it. You let out a small sigh, pushing the swing a little harder, trying to get a little more height. A shame. Knowing you and Sylvie, I bet she's incredible. You want to hit on my mom now, too. I swear everyone in this town is after my family. Why would I do that when you're right here? I can just tell you already like it here. Would have been nice if she could see it through your eyes, don't you think? Yeah, maybe then I'd have some idea why she and my aunt don't get along. I always thought family feuds were supposed to be dramatic, but I don't even know what started it. You've never asked her. I have a bunch of times, but every time she changes the subject or tells me to drop it. So eventually I did. Maybe you should ask your aunt. She might not have the same hang-ups. I'd love to, if I knew how to contact her. No address or anything? I have literally no clue where she went. Ever the mysterious woman. Anyway, 3 months is a long time to be away from home. No friends you're leaving behind. A job, a lover, maybe. I do have friends back at home, but I had a job, but it wasn't anything special. Nope, no lover. Why? You offering? Thank you. I'm just choosing all the hard options, guys. Nope, no lover. Why? You offering? Eden laughed at that, a gentle yet hearty sound. Maybe I am. Keep me in mind, will you? How does a lovely person not have anyone waiting for them back home, I wonder? Maybe I just haven't found the right one yet. Hadn't, you mean? We met this morning, after all. Wow, and you're already making assumptions about us. Someone's getting ahead of themselves. Someone has to. I'm not going to sit around and let someone else make the first move. Eden grinned. Besides, I don't think I've been imagining your interest in me. Have I? Who can say? Maybe I'm just a friendly person. Maybe, but there's a difference between friendliness and flirtation. And I suppose you think you can tell the difference, do you? I like to think I'm not too bad at it, yes. Well, you're confident. I'll give you that. I do like confidence in a man. Confident I shall be, then. Eden leaned in slightly, his elbow resting on his knee, his eyes glinting with mischief. And what else do you like, since we're on the topic? I don't know. Honestly? Honesty. I thought I read honestly. Honesty. A good sense of humor. Lucky me, then. I happen to be hilarious. Debatable, I think. Oh, and here I thought I was making quite the impression. You are, just not necessarily the one you think. Eden placed a hand over his chest, feigning deep offense. Wounded, truly I am. But if I'm to be known for something, I'll take bold and devastatingly handsome over funny, I suppose. You rolled your eyes, but before you could quit back, his tone shifted, just enough to make you pause. I've always admired boldness, you know. Some people spend their whole lives waiting, hesitating, but I'd rather move forward, even if I don't always know where the path leads. That's an interesting way of looking at things, isn't it? If you're standing still, you're letting the world decide for you. He rocked back slightly, his gaze drifting toward the night sky, but his voice remained light and playful. And if I'd stood still, I wouldn't have met you, would I? Wow, is that how you get all your dates? Would it work if it was? You tell me. I think it might. For a brief moment he fell quiet, swinging just a little, letting the cool night air settle between you. Then with a slow inhale, he spoke again. Softer this time, like a thought slipping out before he could catch it. The expression change. I've never been the kind of person who was meant to stay in one place. I was made to move forward, to keep going, to see things through. His fingers curled loosely around the chains of the swing, and his gaze flickered toward the treetops as if searching for something beyond them. I suppose people like me can't stop. If I sit still, the world would just keep changing without me, after all. And what happens when you get to when you're going? Where you're going, rather? I suppose I'll let you know when I get there. Eden smiled and reached his hand out. Before you could react, he plucked a single leaf from your hair and held it up. He twirled the leaf between his fingers, watching it for a moment before tucking it behind your ear with a soft, deliberate touch. There. Perfect. You think so? I'm not sure a leaf is the best accessory. You make it work just fine. He leaned back slightly, resting his arm against the swing's chain as he regarded you, a slow, knowing smile on his lips. It's strange, isn't it? Some people spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong, and others, they just fit somewhere, like they've been here all along. Are you talking about me or you? You. You're like a missing piece finally clicking into place. The quiet between you stretched on for a moment before Eden laughed and pushed himself off the swing. But enough about that. You should get some sleep before I convince you to stay out all night. You say like it's a bad thing. I just hate to be responsible for you sleepwalking through your store tomorrow, and I wouldn't want you to miss our date. It's not a date if everyone's going. I'll just have to work extra hard to make sure you only look at me. Damn, okay. Thanks, Eden. He scooped up his grocery bags with an easy motion, shifting them over on his shoulder. Shooting you a playful glance, he took a few slow steps backwards, his silhouette cutting sharp against the lamplight. Don't miss me too much, all right? I think I'll survive, Eden. Good night. Night, Blue. He grinned, turning on his heel and sauntering off into the night, leaving only the faint echo of his footsteps on the quiet street. You exhaled, leaning back on the swing, watching the sky stretch vast and endless above you. The town was still, the only movement, the occasional rustling of the trees in the night breeze. Some people spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong. With a shake of your head, you pushed yourself up from the swing, then collected your groceries from the bench. Okay, that was the Eden event. Cracks in the finish. Confirm. You began to trace back the path home that was quickly becoming as familiar to you as the back of your hand. It wasn't long before you were back in the town square, though it was now completely deserted. The streets were empty, save for a cat darting into an alley, and the only sound was the creak of a distant wind chime as it swayed softly. It's kind of a nice feeling, walking at night. I never realized that. You glanced upwards towards the sky. The moon shone bright and clear, illuminating the night and the surrounding houses. There wasn't a cloud in sight. A beautiful night, all for yourself. Or almost all for yourself. A flash of something caught your eye. The form of a tall, lanky figure sitting on a rooftop overlooking the square. He watched for a moment, little more than a shadow before disappearing out of sight. Florian? You quickened your steps back to the store. You'd hoped to see Florian when you arrived at the store, but he was still nowhere in sight. I wish I had his number or something. Approaching the counter, you searched for any kind of employee information your aunt might have left, but found nothing. No trace of Florian, where Florian nor Lucille lived, or a way to contact them. However, sitting on top of the counter, you found a sealed letter with blue written on it. Setting down your groceries in the moment, you settled down on a stool, then quickly opened the wax seal to see your aunt's graceful handwriting. To my dearest Sprout, I hope this letter finds you well and that Willowmist is starting to feel a little less like a place you've arrived at, and a little more like a place you could belong. I've no doubt you've been charming the town left and right, whether you've meant to or not. By now, you might be noticing that things here aren't always as they seem. Strange little happenings, peculiar folk with peculiar habits. You're sharp, my dear, you always have been. I won't insult you by pretending you haven't begun to put some pieces together. I wish I could have been the one to tell you everything myself. But, well, your mother never would have approved. She wanted you far away from all of this, and though she had her reasons, I always thought you should be able to decide for yourself. Our store isn't just about antiques. It's about people. It's about community. It's about giving a little help to those who need it, just enough to let them find their own way forward. Some of them have come a long way to get here.
Some of them have nowhere else to go, but they all need something. And if you listen closely, you'll know exactly how to help them. I hope by now you've stumbled across that grumpy old book. Or rather, I hope he's found you. He's a stubborn thing. Don't take it personally if he's been less than welcoming. He was built to be particular about his company, after all. But if you listen, really listen, he has more wisdom tucked away in those pages than most people do in a lifetime. I know I left a lot on your shoulders, and I know it isn't fair, but I also know you can do this, my little sprout. If anyone can, it's you. I have full belief in you. Take care of the store. Take care of its people. Take care of yourself. And please tell me you haven't tried to sell the bird vase. I told you it was cursed. With all my love, Aunt Sylvie. P.S. Tell Gwen I'm doing well and that I think of him often. He always did know how to make me laugh. I do hope the two of you have become acquainted. With a smile, you refolded the letter and tucked it away. All right, Aunt Sylvie, I'll do my best. You're still not telling me where you went, huh? Retrieving your groceries, you headed back upstairs to pack. Your room was much like you had left it. The window was still open, your bed still unmade, and a cushion from the couch was still discarded on the floor from when your wake-up call with Florian had happened. A small amount of guilt settled into your stomach as you put away the groceries and made a late dinner. It wasn't much, but it was food. If it isn't my illustrious master, returned from whatever nocturnal nonsense has stolen her attention this time. Barnabas fluttered into view with a dramatic puff of air, as though he'd been holding his breath in indignation. I do hope your day's endeavors have been worth abandoning your faithful servant for hours on end. I imagine whatever inane nonsense kept you away was terribly important. Perhaps a riveting chat with one of your incredibly mundane customers.
What? Are you saying you actually wanted my company? I thought you wanted to be alone.
Of course, master, I live to be ignored, neglected, and left stewing in stagnation while you frolic about with fanged employees and amateur spell work. It brings me immeasurable joy to gather dust alone in your tiny, cramped abode.
Okay, something tells me you're being sarcastic now.
You don't say. What a master of deduction. How will I ever escape the clutches of your incredible intellect?
I did ask if you wanted to come with me, you know.
Which I did not.
So what is it you want exactly, then? Not to be alone, but also not spend any time with me?
Precisely. Your wisdom knows no bounds, master. Though to be candid for a moment, I much prefer your company over the lurking menace you insist on calling an employee. Honestly, a vampire, master.
Did you already know?
I could hardly call myself a grimoire if I didn't know the scent of a vampire.
I didn't think being a book had anything to do with smelling people, but all right.
I forgot that your brain lags behind sometimes, master. Let me spell it out for you quite simply. Magic is in the air, the threads of reality and the auras people leave behind, and vampires, they reek of old blood, undeath, and regret. They are more than simple to pick out. But by all means, continue trusting him. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong when employing an emotionally fraught bloodsucker with impulse controls and a sad backstory.
He's not really employed by me. He's employed by my aunt, and either way, Aunt Sylvie trusts him. And this store is a place where people have nowhere else to belong. I wouldn't ever just throw him out. Barnabas let out a long, drawn-out sigh as though his entire world had grown tiresome.
Oh, very well then. Continue ignoring my sage advice and do as you please. After all, it is your funeral, not mine.
He turned his attention toward your half-eaten dinner and snorted derisively.
A meal fit for a king, I see. A truly inspired use of your time and resources, master.
You know, you're pretty judgy for a stack of paper. That's probably why you don't have any friends. You continued eating, waiting for Barnaby's almost guaranteed response. Barnabas.
A stack of the gall of you. The gall! I do not need nor desire friends. I live to serve, not frolic around and have fun like some.
Oh yeah? Then why do you get so huffy every time I leave you alone? Barnabas fluttered indignantly, his pages puffing outward in an offended ripple.
Because, master, leaving me unattended in this drafty little hovel is a waste of my rare and precious genius. Not because I'm lonely, heaven forbid. I simply find it offensive to be shelved when I'm a once-in-a-millennium arcane artifact.
Totally not lonely.
I'm above loneliness. Loneliness is for sentimental beings with soft hearts. I am made of enchanted ink and intellect. Besides, I had plenty of company today. Lady Seraphina of House Moonridge accused Countess Belladonna of enchanting her husband with a love hex again, and the fallout was positively catastrophic. Wine flung, curses shouted, a hat caught fire. Utterly riveting. Now, I could be crazy, but I'm pretty sure those are characters from a show. The real sorceress is the Silver Keep, in fact. It does not surprise me that you know so little about it, but it is a fascinating documentary.
Uh-huh, a documentary, right. And you enjoyed watching this documentary.
It was a purely academic viewing, Master. A study of interpersonal dynamics among magically inclined nobility. It's research.
Did you spend all day watching it?
I may have absorbed 8 episodes, dang, but only because Countess Belladonna's familiar betrayed her, and I had to see how that arc resolved. For scientific integrity, obviously.
Right, scientific integrity.
Honestly, if they simply enchanted their contract bindings properly, none of this would happen. Amateur hour, truly. Also, Seraphina's illusion magic is atrocious. Her whole tower is a lie, and no one is talking about it.
You do know that's all fictional, right?
Obviously, Master, but some elements ring true. Magic, after all, is based purely in reality. There have been countless Lady Seraphinas and countless Belladonnas throughout history.
Anyone like me in there?
Why, yes, there happens to be a talking toad that advises the Countess. I believe the character is called Toadsworth. You share many qualities.
Careful there, Barney. Compliment me too much and I might accidentally fall for you.
You would not be the first human to do so. Trust me, nor the last.
Well, ladies' man over here. Finishing your food, you cleaned up and then glanced over towards Barnabas, who was still watching you.
It's late tonight, but maybe tomorrow we can do some more practicing. I'm always prepared to further your knowledge and skill, Master. Then perhaps you can begin by tidying up this horrendous mess you call a room. Honestly, a pigsty, truly.
Feels a little unfair. This is all my aunt's stuff, not mine. It's not like I chose to have a room full of clutter.
You have lived in it for a week and haven't even bothered to put away your own dirty dishes, Master. I would not deign to call that a good defense.
With a groan, you conceded and began to put the room in order. You didn't have energy for it, but you also didn't have the energy to argue with Barney.
Oh, by the way, is my whole magic shtick meant to be a secret? Do I seem as if I have the answer to every question, Master?
You seem like to think that, yes.
Well, I am pleased to see you accepting the truth. But you answer your question, yes. In general, revealing one's magic capabilities to the mundane masses is frowned upon, especially when one is a fledgling spellcaster who lacks any kind of control. You're far more likely to set your sleeves on fire than impress anyone.
Hey, I'm already getting that spell you already taught me.
As did every toddler taught in the past.
I'm on the level of a toddler.
Just below, actually, but don't be discouraged, Master. Toddlers are remarkably clever these days.
You know, a little bit of encouragement wouldn't kill you.
No, but it might kill you, and I've grown strangely fond of not being shoved into a forgotten drawer again, so consider my criticism a public service. One day it might even save your life.
One day I'm going to be so good at magic that you're going to eat those words.
When that day comes, Master, I shall serve them with tea, jam, and a commemorative plate, but until then, try not to burn the house down.
Oh, I wonder how flammable you are.
Excuse me? Did you just threaten to ignite me? Me, the illustrious Barnabas the Magnificent. I'll have you know I'm warded against flame, though clearly not against rude commentary from reckless amateurs. Honestly, how flammable are you? Have you no shame, no decorum, no decency?
You're so easy to wind up, Barney.
Yes, well, enjoy your jest at my expense, Master. It's good to have a hobby when one lacks talent.
I'm sure you know all about that. Going back to the don't tell anyone lest you burst into flames yada yada, is it okay if I trust someone?
That is your decision, Master. There have been many famous spellcasters who were quite open about their craft, and others who were inherently secretive. Some were revered as visionaries, others were burned at the stake. It's a bit of a mixed bag, really. Trust is a valuable resource, best spent in small increments and monitored closely.
So you're saying I should trust, but careful. Be careful.
No, I'm saying you should trust me and be wary of everyone else. But since I know you won't listen, yes, be careful. At least try to be. Magic may be your inheritance, Master, but secrecy is your shield. You don't yet know what kind of eyes might be watching, or what they want.
You're being uncharacteristically serious right now.
Yes, well, even I am allowed moments of grim sincerity. Now, if you're quite done probing the depths of philosophical trust, please turn on the next episode of The Real Sorceresses of Silver Keep. I need to see if Lady Seraphina finally hexes that two-faced necromancer or just throws another goblet.
Yeah, here you go. That's cute. You lifted up the remote and turned on the TV. The screen lit up with images and a loud voiceover. Barnabas fell silent, and you took the opportunity to settle into bed. With a yawn, you glanced towards the open window and the moon, hanging high and bright over the treetops. With a yawn, you glanced towards the open window and the moon, hanging high and bright above the treetops. As tired as you were, sleep did not come easily. Thoughts raced through your mind, and the events of the day felt more vivid than ever. Still, after some tossing and turning, you fell into a deep sleep, accompanied by the occasional gasp from Barnabas in the background. Barnabas enjoying the real sorceresses. Oh, it's raining today. Real sorceresses of Silver Keep. And that is where I'm leaving it today. Thank you so much for watching. It's a little bit of a longer video, given that I'm posting this right before the Christmas holiday. So I will be on break. I might have time to have another video later in the week, but just in case, I decided to make this as if this was like 2 videos. And honestly, that took a lot longer than I thought. I thought Saturday, I should have stopped like at some point, like at the hour, like especially maybe before. And there's a lot that happened. We met Eden, and we saw Eden again, learned a little bit more about him. Florian's a vampire. Don't know what's gonna happen with that, and maybe I'm sure we'll help him. And we got to give a letter to Quinn from Aunt Sylvia, so that's good. And we talked a lot with Barnabas and also with Winnie, and a little bit with Lucille, so that's also good. And we saw Emmett, so that's great. Anyways, I'm enjoying the story. I'm excited to see what Sunday will bring and what else will happen. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the story so far and what characters you're most intrigued by. And if you liked the video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to see me play more of the Willowmist Emporium of Antiques and Curiosities. I'm also just glad I got to pay my school bills. So that's also a good feeling because I was worried about that. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!